Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Going On Daily Live. I'm your host, Becky, and I'm here with Captain Ron. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm a little under the weather. I'm
Are
hanging
you?
in there. I got my tea, trying to make myself feel a little better. I sound different, in my
A little
opinion. But
nasal, yeah. Do you
yeah.
normally wear a hat?
So what?
Do you normally wear a hat? I feel like
On the show?
something.
No, I haven't worn a hat on
No.
the show for like
Why?
a year.
Why did I think a year? Because the show's been on for so long. Okay, well, there
Yeah,
we
yeah,
go.
really.
Yeah, for some reason, maybe that's why you look a little under the weather, but not you don't look bad or anything.
No, I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, well, it's probably because the weather's changing. I know we had snow yesterday. It
What?
wasn't I know, Canada. Welcome to Canada, my friends. It wasn't a lot of snow. I will say it's not like a
Oh,
ton,
what am
but there
I
was like a
thinking? I'm thinking it's
sprinkling.
summertime. Like,
No, it is definitely the middle of October already.
yep,
I know.
yep.
But for us, like we don't normally get snow where I am until about Halloween. So it seems to be a little bit early, but that was just yesterday. There's nothing today, so it'll be a cold one. Actually, the Weather Network has said that this is going to be a more traditional Canadian winter this year because last year was so good, so warm. This one's going to be cold and long. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
as long as they don't predict a Canadian winter for us.
Well, you're close to us, so maybe. I mean, it's not like it just stops at the border and knows exactly where the border is. And
No, it usually gets Buffalo pretty good.
mm, I've been to Buffalo in the winter, and it was not nice. I remember walking in like 80 pounds of snow gear with my parents to I think we were going to a Bills game, uh, which isn't fun. That's all outside. But
No,
yeah,
no.
my dad's a diehard Bills fan, so we went.
Wow, go figure.
Well, we're from Toronto, so
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes
He
sense.
he was a
I guess
Steelers
that
fan
makes
when I
sense.
was really young, and then it changed to Bills somehow, and now he's, like, Bills obsessed even all these years
Well,
later,
how do
but
you go from Pittsburgh to the Bills?
I have no idea.
That's
I'll
craziness.
ask him next time I see him.
Pittsburgh has Super Bowls, Bills don't.
Well, maybe he likes an underdog story.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. Okay, well, just before we get started, which is gonna be a really good show today, I got a
Oh,
lot of stuff for the conspiracy people today. But check us out on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting, Twitch at RI underscore broadcasting, Facebook at RI Broadcasting, and of course Patreon at RI Broadcasting. Get a mug, get some stickers, support the show.
yeah, see?
See, those mugs are so nice. I love that. You designed that logo too, hey?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mike
Somebody
did.
did? Mike did?
Mike
Mike
did.
Mike who just did
I had
everything
another
for us
logo
and
that
then
didn't
jumped
look
ship?
even. It didn't even look as close,
Really?
halfway close to that.
Hmm.
It's way better than what I did.
Mike is the AI guy, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Let's say this: Mike didn't design that. A computer designed that.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Like the AI, I don't like it. I hate AI. Anyways, let's get right into it here. Zooborn babies. What on earth? You and I don't get
Ah,
to discuss this. I have no idea what your topics are about today.
yes, I know, and that's the beauty of the show because
Yes.
the other host generally is surprised by everything. Well, it's very simple to be honest with you. It is about newborn zoo animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Aw.
oh, Kenny's there. Thank you,
Hi,
Kenny, for
Kenny.
being here. Mentioned Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, okay. I was like, I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't like football, obviously.
So, in Poland, I gotta find my story. Let me find it. At the Wrocław Zoo in Poland, they've been breeding Sumatran tigers since
Oh,
1960s.
wow.
Now, the Sumatran tigers, there's only about 400 left in the world, so
Oh,
it's critically endangered.
native to Indonesia, I take it. Sumatran.
Yes. Well, they had four Sumatran cubs born in
Ah,
July
amazing.
22nd. they didn't announce it till this week because
Really?
they weren't sure the cubs were going to survive. They had to
Oh.
make sure that they were strong and healthy.
Mhm.
And once they found them to be healthy, and they decided to announce it this past week. Um, the cubs are now generally around 8 kilograms, which is 18 pounds in the United States. Just in case you needed the
You know what? We're kilograms here, but nobody uses kilograms. I don't know what kilograms are. I know
really,
it's 2.2 pounds, but who's doing the math on that?
you guys don't use
No.
the
It's
metric
it's
system.
our we do, but like we use inches over centimeters. Like if someone was to ask like how tall you were, you're gonna
Why
say
would you do
I'm five
that?
foot eight. I'm not 173 centimeters. I don't know because
Oh wow,
nobody knows centimeters and kilograms. We know pounds and we know feet.
it's so easy. It's like it's based on tens, unlike everything in the
Well,
United States, which doesn't make any sense.
you're right. I agree, but I don't know. Feet and inches is a way easier. Like I get it. Like Celsius, yes, 1000% makes more sense than Fahrenheit. Um, Kilometers makes more sense than miles. However, feet and centimeters, the difference, I don't know. Or kilograms and pounds, I don't. Anyways, go on. 18
Okay.
pounds.
All right. So 18 pounds each. Three males and one female were born.
Oh,
Mother Nuri and Father Tanga are doing well also. Um, and Nuri 4 years ago gave birth to a cub named Saria, who is currently living in the zoo in Cottbus, Germany.
oh, interesting.
So little history there, right? So already had one cub, now has
Hmm.
four more.
Oh, nice.
And so give credit to this zoo that is working hard to keep these animals going. I
Hmm.
don't know where they're going to end up. They don't even know that yet either.
Hmm.
Um, and hopefully they thrive wherever they end up. I don't know if they're going to release them into the wild. I
Oh,
find that
I
hard to
doubt that.
believe
Yeah.
because they wouldn't stand a chance.
No, absolutely not. Now, are they
Um,
endangered because of poaching or because of
oh
predators?
yes,
I'm guessing
absolutely.
poaching.
Yeah,
Terrible.
absolutely.
Terrible.
I mean, it's awful. I mean, we're going to lose all these animals to poachers, and I mean, we're talking elephants,
Hmm.
rhinos. They're all
Yeah.
in serious trouble.
Gorillas. Yeah.
Absolutely, but that's not the only babies.
Oh, there's more
Those aren't
babies?
the only ones. There's others. Well, there's one more. As soon as I can find it, which damn, I didn't upload the other one. Oh
Oh,
wait, here
darn.
it is. It just came in out of order. In the Roger
Oh.
Williams Park Zoo here in Rhode Island,
Oh,
a little baby Lynn's two-toed sloth was born.
cute.
Scout is the name,
Sweet.
and born to Fiona and Westley. They do not know if it's a male or female yet.
The sloths' names are Fiona and Wesley?
The mother and father,
Cute.
right? So little Scout is doing well, and they
I'm
they
gonna get
plan
close to
on
look at
letting
them.
it go out and about real soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Out and about, like into the zoo.
into the rainforest area that they have in the zoo, which is
Okay,
really nice. It's a pretty nice zoo.
I was gonna say I feel like sloths don't live in the forests of Rhode Island. Okay, that
No,
makes
no,
more
no,
sense. Yes.
no. It would be well. There probably are some sloths, but that's a whole different kind of
Those are
sloth.
in the people form. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Very fun.
So we had some zoo babies this week.
That's exciting. I'm glad that you're opening on a pleasant story
Yeah,
mine
because
are
it's going to go downhill in a hurry.
since mine are dark. That's right. Only one of mine is well, one and a half of mine is dark, I would say.
Oh, it was a heartwarming story.
I love it. I
I'm going to
love
try to get
big
over to
animals.
the Roger Williams Zoo to see the sloth.
Oh, it's close to you.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Nice.
same
Yeah,
state.
please do take a picture. That's cute. I didn't
I
know
would
that
like to.
Had a
See, this
sloth.
is
That's
why we
awesome.
need zoos to sponsor those
Hmm.
animal segments.
Yeah, right. I
You
would do one
know, that would
every
be
time. I
great.
love animals.
Oh, I do too. I love doing animal stories,
Me too. Okay,
unless they're
well,
bad.
unless they're bad. Yeah, that's right. Unless it's about poaching, which we don't love. Okay, in other news, you can see my background here. We are talking breast cancer today. It is October, so of course it's breast
I do
cancer.
like the background. That
Isn't it
background
nice?
looks pretty sharp.
Yeah, yeah. Except every time I move, you can see around it, but that's AI for you.
Yeah, you know.
October is breast cancer month, as you may or may not
Yes.
be aware. What does
Yes.
that mean? Well, that means that companies who are silent all year long decide to change their logo to something with a pink ribbon
Yeah.
and pretend like they care about breast cancer.
And they don't.
So, and well, they don't. I think a lot of what happens in society is optics. You know, when you have these big companies, it's optics. I feel the same way about like in June, like during Pride, because a lot of these companies will change their stuff to a rainbow, but like, where are you for 11 other months of the year? So,
Right.
I think it's all optics. So today we're talking what's called
Absolutely.
pink washing. So a pink washer is what? Well, it's a company or organization that claims to care about breast cancer by promoting a pink ribbon product or, changing their whole logo or whatever, but at the same time selling products that still contain chemicals that are known to cause cancer.
Right.
So the
Yeah.
irony in that.
There's a lot of companies guilty of that, by the way.
Oh, yeah, things like Aveda, Bumble and Bumble, Bobby Brown, Clinique, Campbell's, Yoplait, Estee Lauder, Tic Tacs, KFC, Kit
Oh,
Kats, Coke, Sun Chips, Dial,
wait,
Arm& and Hammer.
KFC?
Yeah, there's like KFC buckets. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like fried chicken just like everyone else, but I mean, do you think it's good for you? Do you think it's not causing issues in people's bodies? I don't know.
Of course
Green
not.
Giant, Jello, and even other companies, it's not entirely just putting chemicals in their products, but companies like the NFL, who has like a huge breast
Oh,
cancer thing,
oh, they're
and yet
horrible.
but only 8% of what they raise goes to breast cancer research.
I
So where's
believe
your
it.
other 92% going? That's
Yeah,
pinkwashing.
that's NFL is just horrible company. It's a horrible
Just in
company.
general, yes, the
Like
optics of
everything they
NFL are.
do is pretty much negative, and they try to spin everything they do in a
Mhm,
positive light, and it's far from the truth.
mhm.
I mean, you want conspiracies, you start digging into the NFL.
Oh, I know. The Super Bowl, like the conspiracies that fly during Super Bowl time, they're crazy.
Yeah, it's the same thing when they do all these military things. That's
Mhm.
a bunch of
Yeah, of course.
hogwash.
Yeah, because it's optics. Whoever is at the top of the NFL making these decisions, and just like
Yeah,
any of these companies, it is about optics. Hey, how can we look like we're helping? What do we do to do our part? Oh,
yeah,
let's change our logo. Let's make our logo pink. Okay, well,
yeah,
let's take a look at like, any of these I don't know, home products like plugins or like air fresheners or things like that. Yeah, you can put a pink logo on it. But at the end of the day, these products are full of absolute garbage. Things like artificial colors, natural flavors. When you see something that says
yeah.
natural flavors, it doesn't say what that natural flavor is. It's fake.
Right.
It's not good for you. Seed oils, of course. You may or may not know seed oils are absolutely terrible for you. Perfumes, phthalates, BPA, preservatives, nitrates, nitrites, benzene, benzoate. I don't even know what that is. Benzyl salicylate. These are all products that are
It's
known
those
to cause
those are
cancer.
all the same products with different names. This is
Oh,
how they disguise stuff like sugar inside
that's
your
right.
ingredients. They just
That's
change
right.
the name of it.
That's right. Yeah. So it's frustrating for someone like me who just went through breast cancer, right? A 36 years old diagnosed with breast cancer, perfectly healthy, had um, a physical, was completely healthy, and then all of a sudden I've got stage 3 breast cancer. It's like it's it's infuriating because it's like I was just trying to live my life.
Yeah,
And it says that 5 to 10% of breast cancer is actually genetic. So only 5 to
yeah.
10% of it. That means that 90 to 95% of breast cancer is environmental. So here,
Yeah.
most of us are just trying to live our lives, trying to be healthy, trying to do the right thing, end up with this crap because, it's in our food, it's in our products, it's in our skincare, it's in our makeup.
Yeah, I mean, you start to wonder about, you know, when when people have problems, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Whether it's, physical, mental, all kinds of different things. How much of that is attributed to the food that we eat? And I'm guessing a good
Like,
90% of it is probably
I, I would
that.
say like a decent amount of it. Yeah, for sure. When even unless you're eating like totally clean, like whole foods, you're buying it from a farmer
Yeah,
that doesn't use pesticides and hormones and things like that. And then you're eating these one ingredient meals or one ingredient foods. Like, what do you do, right? And then that being said too, there's like a whole other push that like, oh well, the meat is actually causing it. Well, I don't actually believe that meat is causing problems, but that's another push too. Like, you can only eat vegetables. Well, the vegetables that I'm buying are sprayed and genetically modified and full of shite. So like, what am I supposed to
yeah,
do?
and think about this. They promote all this organic food,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
What 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 is to stop these companies, like, okay, so it's not grown with, pesticides and stuff
Hmm.
like that, say, but are they spraying it with stuff after it's picked and
Oh yes.
starting to ship? That's
Yes.
a big part of it.
Mhm. Well, especially when it comes to a place like Canada, that's not close. Like, South America and Canada are not close to each other. So when we're getting things like bananas or oranges or whatever, okay, these things, maybe those are bad examples because those have a peel on them. But you're like berries, some of them come from
Yeah,
the States or further, right? Different
yeah,
vegetables.
grapes.
Yes, grapes is a good one. Um, it's it's gonna go rotten by the time it gets here, right? It has to be picked, packed, shipped, sit on their shelf, come to it's a couple week process. So by the time you
Yeah,
actually get them, they should be long rotten, and yet they're not. They say that when you're buying fruits and vegetables, especially if it's off season and if it's somewhere that it's not indigenous to your area, like for
right.
us, pretty much everything, buy frozen when it says comes from Canada right on it, because
Yeah.
it's probably picked and then flash frozen and then put, onto
Yeah,
shelves.
that's what I usually do with, like, vegetables,
Hmm.
because I mean, look, if you get all fresh vegetables, the chances of you using it all is
Hmm.
slim,
Oh
and it
yeah,
just goes bad, and I have that problem all the
all
time.
the time. Yeah,
So, I don't want canned goods because that's just loaded with crap.
BPA usually, and all kinds of
Yeah,
heavy metals and
yeah, so I get the
whatever else. Yeah.
frozen ones. It's very
Yes,
simple, frozen. You get the
for
Walmart
sure,
brand, good value, whatever,
for sure. I mean,
signature at Shaw's. You get the frozen ones. You save the money because it's the same damn thing.
yes, for sure. I mean, I try to look for the organic ones, but not everything
Right.
comes in organic, and that's another issue too. It's like, why should I have to choose between my health and eating chemicals? Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. It's
No.
confusing.
And it is a big problem. And I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't have the answers, right? But I
Right.
would think if you start, you know, some sort of a greenhouse facility
Mhm.
for food
Mhm.
in all the local areas, so you have, say, one in New England, you have one, in, I don't know, say, like, Ontario, right?
Mhm.
You have like one facility in Ontario where they grow all this stuff in a greenhouse that is climate controlled.
Yeah.
I think you can make local food, with some of the things that you can't get in the area.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think that's probably the best way to go about it. I wish companies would take a chance and do that, even if they charge more for that, because the prices are out of hand anyway.
Right.
If they
But an
charge
extra
more for
$2.
that, at least some people might spend the extra dollar to get something that is definitely local and healthier.
Well, so yesterday I went to the grocery store and I was buying romaine lettuce. The regular romaine lettuce was 4.99, which I even
Yeah,
still think is expensive for three
right.
stalks of lettuce, right? Like the
Yep.
whatever, the bag of three. But I was like, no, let's get organic. It was $8. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. And like same
Yeah.
with
And
eggs.
this
Like,
is and most of this isn't because of the expenses. It's because
mm-mm.
these companies are gouging. They are
Yes.
gouging big time. They're taking advantage of everything.
I bought free run organic eggs the other day and they were almost $9 for a dozen.
Yeah, it's
Like
insane for
it's
eggs.
out of control, but it's like I want to eat properly as
Yeah.
someone who just had breast cancer. Like I don't want to go back there,
Right.
right? I
Right,
only have one more
exactly. So
move.
you
I don't
know
want
the
to live it.
dangers, you know what you went through, and you want you want products that are going to be okay to
You,
ingest.
you know, and the irony of that too is that I used glass. I didn't use plastic. Like I barely used my microwave. Like almost never. I've never smoked in my life. I barely drink. I don't do drugs. I used all organic skincare. Most of my food was organic. I don't use fluoride. I filter all my water. Like so the irony of me getting sick when I did all the right things, it's like it just goes to show how toxic everything is.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And I just saw a thing about dog food.
oh
Like
yeah, no surprise.
that is worse than ever.
Hmm.
Dog lifespans have dropped considerably, almost in
Hmm.
half for
Oh,
some
I'm not
breeds.
surprised. Yeah.
Like a Labrador, I mean a golden retriever used to be 17 years lifespan.
Well, you're
It's
lucky to get
now 8 or
dinner.
9.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, that's appalling, and it's because of their food.
Yeah, no surprise.
The
There's a
the
big
stuff
jump to
that's in
feed your
that
dog
food is just
raw.
oh,
I know. Well, I'll leave everybody with this. It's a thing that was floating around cyberspace this month. Instead of companies displaying pink ribbons this month, how about they just remove carcinogens from their products?
yeah, really.
That is what I will say about that pinkwashing.
Like, it's all stuff that makes sense. Why are they putting stuff in that kill you?
Well,
It
I mean,
just
do we really want to go down that rabbit trail here? Because
well, maybe we could dedicate a whole show to that stuff,
we could
you
dedicate
know?
an
I mean, there's
entire
so much,
podcast to
like,
that.
oh, companies would hate us. They would not line up to sponsor that one.
Just listen, everything is connected, whether it's Diddy, whether it's our food, whether it's organic, whether it's the election, whether it's human trafficking. It is literally all connected. There is one group at the top. So
Oh, yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
and we know who those groups are.
Yes, we sure do. Yes, we sure do.
We're gonna learn some more of it today.
Yeah, well, we sure are. Well, let's get to your fun facts so that we can eventually get to the conspiracy stuff here.
Yeah, so I got fun facts. I got the light topics today.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
I like it.
so it's pretty good. Continuing my horror movie kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun facts for October. You know, and today I got Carrie.
Ooh,
The
okay.
movie Carrie with Sissy Spacek. Right.
Weird movie.
This is going to be good. There's some interesting stuff here.
Stephen King as well, right?
Um, so Sissy Spacek was only 25 years old, playing a high school student.
As they do.
Um, she wore a sailor dress to appear younger.
Oh, okay.
That's why they had to wear that dress, so she looks younger.
Oh, I guess that was the times.
Yeah. So, um, Piper Laurie, who played Carrie's mother, thought the movie was a comedy. So when she signed on, she
Oh
thought it was
no.
going to be a comedy.
Well,
Apparently,
she
she
was
didn't read the whole
mistaken.
script.
Yeah, clearly. She thought it was like funny when they dropped blood on her, I guess,
Yeah, yeah,
as a
yeah.
joke. Okay.
So in the prom scene, the blood that they poured
Hmm.
pig's blood, it was tomato juice.
Oh, interesting.
Now, the interesting part of this isn't that it's tomato juice. It took several days to film this because the heat from the lights kept drying it up, so it took a while to film this scene.
Right.
So because of that, Sissy Spacek would sleep in the false blood to maintain continuity. So she would go to sleep to come back and do the scene again. More of the scene.
Like she would
She
go to
slept with all
sleep
that stuff on
to,
her.
but wouldn't that be dried out as well?
Yes, but at least it looks, it looks the same when you
Crusty?
come back and
I
hey,
I guess.
that's gross.
Tomato tomato juice seems like a weird choice because it's so orange. It's not like that
Yeah, it doesn't seem
red.
like it would be blood,
I need to
but
rewatch this.
yeah, makes you wonder, right? You got to
Yes,
see that. You got to look for all those little details there.
I guess so.
So in that scene, John Travolta played one of the pranksters that poured the pig's blood on
What,
Carrie.
really?
Yes, I didn't know that
Did not
either.
know that. I didn't know.
That I didn't know, and now I have to watch it for that reason as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to see Vinnie Barbarino pouring the blood.
Is that
He
from
probably had that
Taxi?
that outfit on too.
Yeah, probably.
No,
Because
it
they're
was it
supposed to
was
be
a
set in the
prom scene, so
50s.
he had to be dressed up, right?
Set in the 50s, though, right?
I don't know.
I thought so.
Maybe.
I thought so.
All right, so Stephen King was paid $2,500 for the rights of the film.
Really?
So it wasn't much, but he says he's thankful for it because it got him out there.
That was his first big thing?
That was his first one. That was his
Really?
first book, and it was turned into a movie.
Wow.
So much so, he was unknown at the time, and they misspelled his first name.
They put a V instead of a P.
In the trailer, they misspelled his
Poor
name.
guy. Wow.
So, Stephen King's stories went on to form the basis of more than 100 films, TV series, and episodes.
Wow.
That's incredible. That
Mhm.
is making a mark on a genre.
For sure. People like his stuff. I just find him so off-putting. Just so
That's
weird.
what's so weird about it,
I
right?
know.
Because it's
I just think like
it's
everything
odd.
is so twisted and that's fine. It's fiction and yet it came from someone's mind. So
Yeah, I
like
know.
what's
Isn't that
what's going
scary?
on in there, Steve?
But see, this is the thing. You have people like that use it for good. So stories, right? And movies
I
and
guess.
then you have the other people that go through it and act those things out.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they heard and they were like, "Hey, I learned something new from this author. I'm going to act it out."
Yeah. And the last one I have is in the book, Carrie burned down the entire town. Did
Oh,
not do that. It would have cost too much money.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
so so the book ending was also different. In the
Right.
movie in the movie, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but this is an old movie. If you haven't seen
To
it by now,
say
you're
in
not going to
50
watch it.
years, I think it's okay.
Yeah, so um in the movie she kills her mother
Oh, does she?
and dies, in the house, where the book she blows up a car in a field with the two guys in it.
Oh.
So Stephen King actually said that he likes the movie better than his book.
Oh, jeez. Makes a rewrite, I guess.
Yeah, so those are the fun facts for Carrie.
I
So
like it.
Kenny, I hope you enjoyed that one. If you haven't
Mhm.
seen that movie, I would suggest go see it. The
It's twisted.
original was
Yeah.
fantastic. I did see the remake of it, and that wasn't so bad either.
Mm,
Just a little more modern.
right. Did they blow up the town after because they would have had the budget probably?
No, I think they basically made it the same way.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's hard to remember. Because I mean, even the remake is pretty older.
Mm.
I think the remake was like early 2000s.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised
So,
they haven't tried to get on it again since, there are no new
oh,
ideas.
they probably will.
I'm sure they will. Well, I mean, it'll be scarier probably.
I mean, that's what they did with It, right? It
Mhm.
was a television series,
Mhm.
and then they remade it, and it was more scarier than the first It.
Oh no way. I haven't seen any, of course. What
Mm,
about the
yeah,
new
so
ones though? I hear the new ones were good.
yeah, they are. I think that's it's much better. But the first one was really a TV series,
Mhm.
so you can't really compare the two.
Right. That's right.
You got a big Hollywood production as opposed to a mini series.
That's fair.
So
And you got what Skarsgård actors, so you can't go wrong there either.
right. I
So
mean, just the acting itself was way better.
yeah,
So
cool. Side note, I don't think our comments are working because I've put a few on myself that haven't popped up. So just FYI, I don't think it's working.
Mike is there.
I see a
Like
couple.
Becky's new headset.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything be posted in like 20 minutes, even though I've gone on myself and posted like 10. But oh
Yeah,
well,
I only
whatever.
see one from you.
Yeah, no, there's lots more. They'll all pop up at the end of the show.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into this one. So I saw this video floating around this week about Rihanna's song SOS. It came out in the year 2006.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Rihanna fan. Now, in 2006, I was 20 years old. So, yeah, I definitely was. Um, the award winning songwriter, his name is Evan the Kid Bogart, came out talking about the song that he wrote. He said it was one of the first pop songs that he had ever written. Normally, he was writing rap songs. He admitted that he had no idea what he was doing, but he made it a certain way because he thought it would be clever. So, if you hear the second verse of the song, there's actually no lyrics. All it is 80s song titles. So,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. So the lyrics go like this: Take on me, aha, which is Take on Me by Aha.
Yep.
Inside you feel it right. And I forgot to write down who wrote Feel It Right. Take on Me, I could just die up in your arms tonight, which
Oh
is a Cutting
my.
Crew song. I Melt with You, Modern English.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, I love all these songs. You Got Me Head Over Heels, which is Tears for
Ah,
Fears. Boy, You Keep Me Hanging On, which is Kim Wilde. The Way You Make Me Feel, MJ. And that is the verse. And it is
wow.
all just 80s songs. So he was like, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to write a pop song. So he's like, I just thought I would be clever and string some 80s
That's
hits
pretty neat
together.
though. I kind of like that. It gives like a little nod to that time,
Yeah. Yeah. It's just weird
And
that 20 years later, nobody knew. Like, because those are
yeah,
very
no,
clearly,
I didn't even realize it because like you hear the songs and you don't really pay attention to
no,
the lyrics on a song like that,
no,
and it
certainly
just
not.
flies by people,
Right.
and here we are talking about it all this time later.
Yeah. 18 years later, that song came out and we're only just finding out now. But yeah, kind of a fun
Now,
little Easter egg.
the title of it is kind of ironic.
ABBA.
Not to quote another song.
Yeah, right. LNS.
Is there is there a reason why it was named SOS?
I didn't look into it. I guess there might have been.
Because it's interesting how it was Rihanna. And then the first thing I thought of who wrote the song, because I know there was a lot of talk about the song that Eminem did for her,
Mhm.
so I don't know. I mean, how far back are we going with the problems with you know, that guy, Mr. Combs? So
That
I don't
guy.
know if like SOS has any meaning, you know, in the song itself,
You
or
mean
is it
her
just
as a 20-year-old or 19-year-old singer on the scene in the music industry, probably doing some horrible things to be famous? Yeah, maybe.
yeah?
But in this case, I don't think she wrote the song. So,
No, but she might have. made the title.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so
So
true. Yeah, let's
that's
look
why
into
I'm
that
asking,
further.
is there anything in the song, and maybe Kenny knows because I'm sure he knows the song, you know, is there anything in the song that, in the verse or the chorus that has SOS, and yeah.
Mm,
So it's just interesting how the song title grabbed me instantly.
right. Well,
Instantly.
I mean, you can definitely look into the music industry a
Yeah,
heck
I'm
of a
gonna
lot
have to.
deeper. You can look into it a lot deeper than the surface level because there is a lot of stuff there that used to be hidden, used to be fairly subliminal, now is fairly like in plain sight.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I could probably enjoy a deep search on like almost everybody
Oh yeah,
just to
literally
find
everybody.
out, you know, I don't know, find out what they're into.
Well, I don't think you want to find out what they're into.
Yeah, I know that's the scary part because it's like you don't want to open up that can of worms, but I think it really needs to be open. To be honest with you,
Of course it does,
needs to
and
be
I'm
open.
hoping that it will this time.
I hope so too. I hope whatever happens to Diddy opens up more cases.
I hope so.
I don't know. I mean, it depends. If if Diddy somehow mysteriously dies, yeah, exactly. If he somehow mysteriously dies, nothing else is going to come out until they
Yeah,
need another sacrifice.
yeah, exactly. Well, then I can't wait to go through these conspiracies with you in our not next topic,
Yeah,
but the
I
one
like a
after.
good conspiracy theory because
Perfect. You'll love this one. It's deep.
it's like this saying, where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
For sure.
Generally, when stuff comes out, it's probably true
Right.
because you can only hold that back so long. And a lot
Mhm.
of people, everything waits until they die before things come out.
Mhm. Yeah. Exactly.
Now we need these things to come out while these people are all still
For
alive.
sure. Yeah. Of course. So that there can be justice. But
Yep.
we will see.
So this is the great part about everybody having a phone and
Mhm.
everybody being able to video things, because now it's almost impossible to hide everything.
For sure. But you're also living in a time of deep fakes and AI, so it's also a little tough. Like
Yeah,
what's real and what isn't.
right,
Before
and
they
that's
used
the
to
problem.
blackmail people to get them to do things.
What
Now it's
I
like,
what I
I just made a
think,
video of you doing
yeah,
something.
what I think should happen. I think I don't even know if it's even possible. I'm sure it is. There should be a way of identifying if something is AI, like some sort of
Mhm.
watermark
Mhm.
on video, on photos. Whenever something is created from AI, it should show it.
You would think. I know for a while there, all the people they were AIing had 6 fingers for some reason. Remember that? They must have got that. Yeah, it was weird. It's like they just
I
could
didn't
not
know
get a
that.
hand. They just couldn't get a hand. They were all like this. If you saw any AI pictures, they all had
Oh
a
wow, I
6
didn't know
finger.
that. I
Yeah,
never noticed.
yeah, I know. Like most people wouldn't, because like if someone's hands are like this or whatever, who's counting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
nobody's paying attention to it.
exactly. A lot of stuff
Hmm.
is hidden in plain sight. This dark
Yeah.
agenda is all hidden in plain sight, so you just have to be
Yeah, and I
aware
want to
and
know all
mindful.
of it.
I know, me
If
too.
anybody's got stories out there,
Yes,
please by
same.
all means send me a message, and then we'll get you on the show.
That sounds awesome. We should. I've got lots of conspiracy friends.
I'm telling you, I would definitely put somebody on that has those stories.
Totally. Well, I'll talk to my friends.
There we go.
All right, roll reprisals.
Ah, this is
Tell
so
me.
fun.
I'm
Let me
excited.
tell you, this I stumbled on by accident. Okay, because there was a story out of New Mexico
Hmm.
that um Brian Cranston did
Mm,
a commercial for New Mexico.
okay. Just for the state?
as Walter White.
I love that.
So
He
he's
seems
over
like a good
there
dude.
in that place where they filmed,
Right.
and he was picking up trash, you know, and all
Mhm.
disgusted, like Walter White would be. And
Mhm.
then he's like, "Don't be littering in my territory." So
I
it's
love
a
that.
public service ad for littering.
Oh, that's
And I was like,
interesting.
wait, I remember a bunch of commercials a long time ago, that were really popular that was pretty funny.
Mhm.
So I went and I looked for um, famous actors that played their role
Okay.
on commercials. And there's so many of them.
Really?
Yes, and then I settled on um the ones that I got from mojo.com.
Okay.
They have a top 10.
Oh, cool.
So they had number 10, Walter White, Jesse, and Tuco from
Oh,
Breaking
wow.
Bad for popcorners instead of the drugs that they made. So they were making popcorners,
Wow.
and did the whole scenes and stuff like that from the show.
My gosh,
It
the
was it
budget
was
to
it's
be able
brilliant.
to do that?
It's brilliant. They got all three actors to reprise their roles.
That's hilarious.
It was great. Which I would put at if I was doing a top five, that would be number five.
Yes.
Then they had Carrie and the Dude, Sarah Jessica Parker and Jeff
Mhm.
Bridges,
Oh.
changing their drink to Stella Artois.
Oh, interesting.
So, she normally would have cosmopolitans
Cosmos, yeah.
and he would have white Russians. And to top it all off, remember the Dos Equis guy?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, they had
um,
him too.
they got him to go into this commercial and he says, "Well, that's an interesting twist." And he's holding up,
Oh,
the Stella instead of
that's
the
cool.
Dos Equis.
That's a good commercial.
Pretty brilliant. Here's a great one. Here's a great one. Bill Murray. This is their eighth. Bill
Mhm.
Murray as Phil Connors from Groundhog
Mhm.
Day, a Jeep commercial. So he had Ned, he had Buster, he had the groundhog riding shotgun in
Oh,
his
wow.
Jeep, and it would send him to all different places, in the groundhog style. So he
Interesting.
got to see all those people using the Jeep.
Cool.
It was pretty funny. It's Bill Murray. It's great. They had number 7 being Alicia Silverstone from Clueless
Clueless, yeah.
as Cher doing a Rakuten commercial,
Oh, I have seen that one. I mean, that makes
right?
sense. It's for clothing.
Yeah, yeah. So they had that one. Number 6, Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown in a Nike commercial
Oh,
with
what?
Bill Hader and Kevin Durant.
It's
Those two are
random.
sitting at the counter. Then all of a sudden, boom! In comes Doc Brown. Needs the pair of shoes. I need shoes. I need shoes.
1.21 gigawatts. That's all I'm
Right?
picturing.
So they had him in a commercial for Nike.
Interesting. I'm Googling that while you're speaking.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's cool.
Um, they had Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister doing Google Assistant as
Oh,
an
like as
adult.
an
He's an
adult.
adult.
Okay. Weird.
And he's like jumping up on the bed, reenacting some of the things from Home
No way.
Alone and stuff like that. It's a fun commercial. Mike Myers as Dr. Evil. He had all his villains there from the movies. Rob Lowe, what's his face there?
Robert Wagner.
Seth Meyers, Robert Wagner. They were all in this commercial.
Cool.
And it was a GM commercial. He took over GM, General Motors for the cars. And he's like, oh, now they're doing this electric car thing. So he's like,
That's
oh, I can save the planet and then take over.
cool. That's hilarious.
It was really good. And then Mean Girls for Black Friday. So Lindsay Lohan's,
Right.
Amanda Seyfried, the whole cast, they're
Wow.
all in this
Rachel
commercial.
McAdams.
And yeah, they were like doing Black Friday commercial. I believe it was for Walmart.
Wow. Well, Walmart has a never-ending budget, so
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure
they got
that was
all of them. So
wow,
Mean
that's cool.
Girls made their mark. Uh, One of my favorites, Bruce Willis, was number two as John McClane for
Oh,
Advanced Auto Parts. It even had his limo driver Argyle back in this role.
wow.
Ends up hitting John McClane with the car, and then he gets in and gives him a ride. It was for a Die Hard battery.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta love it, right? Perfect.
Yeah,
The commercial's like a movie. It's almost as good.
totally.
And then their number one was Henry Thomas returning as Elliot with the return of E.T. when he's an adult.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I didn't like that one, but
For what brand was it for?
it was. You know what? I don't even remember.
I forgot to write it
I
down.
don't even remember. I forgot what it was for. I don't remember it.
I think the Bruce Willis one
But they had
is
so
better.
many. My
Yeah, that's
favorite of
cool.
all time. My favorite of all time. Richard Dean Anderson as MacGyver from
Okay.
Mastercard. I don't know if you remember this when
Nope.
they say a paperclip, ballpoint pen, rubber band, tweezers, nasal spray, and a turkey baster, $14.
Mm.
The little things that get you through the day, priceless. And here he is trying to make this big daring escape,
Oh, that's cool.
going down a zip line and stuff. Great commercial. Great
Okay.
commercial.
That's awesome.
My favorite one. But there were so many. John Kerry as the cable guy.
Oh,
Lawrence
Jim Carrey.
Fishburne was selling Kia cars
As what,
as
Neo?
as
Or as
Morpheus.
Morpheus?
Yeah. They had Mr. Bean doing Snickers.
Hilarious.
There was so many.
I love
So
that.
and what's the dude from Seinfeld, the postman?
Oh,
Um
yes.
Newman. Well,
Newman.
he played a postman
Oh, awesome.
for the elections, right?
Interesting.
About voting. So
Cool.
it was great. I'm not into politics, but as a postman,
That's awesome. I know for Super Bowl they had Will Ferrell reprise his Anchorman role.
oh yes, I remember
It
that.
was weird. It wasn't funny, but it was.
Right. I don't like Will Ferrell anyway.
Oh, really? No, I like Will Ferrell, but I didn't think it was a very funny
Yeah.
commercial. But
No.
yeah,
I
that's cool.
I like Will Ferrell in Blades of Glory. And
Oh yeah,
Step
great
Brothers
movie.
was okay.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Step Brothers was right.
I love it. I like him in
So I
almost
love those
everything.
reprisals and commercials.
That's
I wish
cool.
they would do that more often.
Totally. I mean, they probably can't afford it realistically. Like after a bad
Well,
one.
yeah, they're big stars, so
Yeah.
but you never know.
No, you never know.
It might be fun for those actors.
Totally. You know who they should not reprise in any role is Beyonce. And let's get into it here.
Wait, what roles has she been in?
Austin Powers,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Foxy Cleopatra. I don't know. She's done a few things here and there, hasn't she?
It's not acting, it's just being herself.
Just being Beyonce. Okay,
It's like
so
George Clooney.
yeah,
He
true.
doesn't act, he just plays himself in every
Just
movie.
George Clooney. Yeah. Oh, you're kind of aloof. Oh, you're a ladies' man. You don't like to commit. Oh,
Right. It's the same guy in every
that's right.
movie.
That's right. Hilarious. Okay, Beyonce here. So let's go down the rabbit hole of
Yeah.
Beyonce. There are
Yeah.
a lot of conspiracies swirling around here. I'm
And
going to
she
get
looks so
into,
happy in that picture.
yeah, well, if I was possessed by the devil, I too would be happy. Just kidding. That's a pretty big accusation. Okay, so there is a theory going on right now that every time Beyonce embarks on a new world tour, a mega pop star dies. So I know. This is the first I've heard it, and I'm pretty far down every hole here. So this is the first I've been hearing of this, but it's been
When you gave me the Garth one, I was like, oh, that's ridiculous. And then all this stuff comes out about Garth. I'm like,
yeah,
ooh, maybe it's not so ridiculous.
Yeah, and I was thinking about him too because, part of what makes Beyonce so questionable to me is this um, alter ego thing that she does. I'm Sasha Fierce or whatever. And they say, like, a lot of these celebrities act like they have an alter ego, but like maybe they're dissociative. Like maybe they've got multiple personalities and this is like a real entity in their head. Like, I
Well,
don't know. But anyway, let's get
artists,
what they're
you
weird,
know,
man. It's like musicians are weird. The music industry is weird. When you are subjected to a lot of horrific
yeah.
things, you're weird. You'll never be the same. Okay, so like I said, when she embarks on a world tour, mega pop star dies. So 2009, her I Am Sasha Fierce tour. She was just starting that one out. Well, guess who died within the month or two? Michael Jackson.
Oh, Jesus.
And then she announced the Miss Carter tour in 2012, and then Donna Summer died. And then, as she was about to begin that same tour, Whitney Houston died. And then in June 2014, she was doing her On the Run tour with Jay Z and Beyonce together. Bobby Womack died. Now, I don't know who Bobby Womack is. It said he was like the king of soul or something. But he died in the same month. And then April 2016, her Formation tour started. And then Prince died in that same month.
Oh, so I'm blaming her on Prince.
Right. And then
Shit, it's
Jay
your
Z and
fault,
Beyonce.
Beyonce. You
I
took Prince.
Well, people are literally asking her to stop touring because this is
Well, she
happening.
should anyway.
I mean, she should anyway. She's terrible. Jay Z and Beyonce again, another On the Run tour in June of 2018. Aretha Franklin dies in August.
Oh man, you took Aretha too.
Yeah, and what's weird about this is that she does tributes for all of them, like a uh, fallen pop star tribute in all of her shows.
Yeah,
Uh,
so it's planned ahead.
Totally. And then in 2023, her Renaissance tour was announced in May, and then Tina Turner died as
Oh, that's it.
well. We're done protesting.
Yeah. You took, okay, let me get this right. You took Michael, you took Prince, you took Whitney, you took Aretha, and Tina.
Yeah, these are mega stars. Donna Summer, Bobby Womack, again, like these are mega stars. And what I found interesting too is that they were all black pop stars too.
Yes.
And it's like, does she not like other people having any sort of fame? Like, is she the person who demands all of the fame to be the most famous person alive? I don't know.
See now what you gotta do, you, you gotta tie up the loose ends, right?
Mm.
You have to connect her to Diddy.
Well, you can. Of course you can.
Right. Now, can you connect Diddy to all of those?
I'm sure you can. I am positive. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm sure.
Mm, mm,
Well, the
mm.
conspiracies continue here, Ron. So there's also this conspiracy going around that singers, when they're accepting awards, have to thank Beyonce. If they get an award,
Wait, what?
they thank Beyonce in their speech. So it's saying that if someone is becoming more successful than Beyonce, then all of a sudden they're gone unless they thank her in their speech. So Taylor Swift wrote she actually wrote a tweet, and I don't know when it was, the date wasn't on it, but basically she thanked her for everything, called her a guiding light, a generosity of her spirit. Britney Spears did the same thing where she's thanking her. Adele was on stage crying, saying, "You are our light," breaking her Grammy in half so that she could give her half of it. They're saying that Kanye, remember when he went up on stage when Taylor Swift won that award and was like, Beyonce's album should have won, it was the best thing ever, blah, blah, blah. People are saying that Kanye was actually saving Taylor's life when she forgot to thank Beyonce. So he ran up on stage to say all that, to give credit where credit was due. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know.
Wow.
Another one, Megan the Stallion, she says, in like a weird facetious way, she's standing right beside Beyonce thanking her in a speech, and then she's saying, I have to do it to save my life.
So how does Taylor Swift thank Beyonce. It's not even the same genre.
Well,
Eh,
just like
like
how her music was so influential and how generous she is with her and this and that. I don't know. You
that's
know,
weird.
I know. You know JoJo Siwa? She's kind of a weird girl out and
Yeah.
about right now. I guess she sarcastically said at an award show recently, like, "Ooh, well, I want to save the dance community, so I'm thanking Beyonce." So now people are uh, thinking that she's the next one to go.
Oh
Um,
my god. Let me
there's
put her
also,
on my Deadpool.
yeah, right. They're also saying that there's people who haven't thanked her. I know, like I've watched award shows. Not everyone thanks Beyonce, but maybe like the mega stars do. But it's saying that people who didn't were Amy Winehouse and Aaliyah. Maybe, maybe. There's also
There
another.
was another story about Aaliyah too that had this
Yes,
triangle.
yes, I know. It goes deep. It goes super deep. There's another clip of Trevor Noah, a comedian, presenting a Grammy, and it pans to Beyonce, who stands up and is like, getting her dress ready because they're about to say her name for best album or best singer, whatever. And you see Trevor Noah's face kind of change, and he goes, and then he hands it off to somebody else to read, and that person goes, "Oh, Harry Styles." And then it looks to Beyonce and she's like confused, and then she sits back down and Harry Styles is like, and goes up on stage. So I'm sure he probably went up and thanked her. But just,
Yeah,
it's
was
just,
he not supposed to win?
well, apparently not. Why would she stand up prematurely? I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that I think really any of these shows are organic. Like, I think
No,
it's
no.
fairly.
They pick out a certain person because it's who they want to represent at that time.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Which is a whole nother thing about the music industry, right?
Yes, of course. Of course. So, some more conspiracies about Beyonce include when she was pregnant and did you ever see that video? She was at an interview and she sat down and her pregnant belly just like completely squished and then went back up. Like, for those of us who have been pregnant, it doesn't do that. You're literally adjusting your body like this because that thing is firm, as hard as rock.
Yeah.
So, in this
So
video,
to
it
say she
literally looks
wasn't
like
pregnant.
it looks like it was foam and it just squishes. Now there was allegations that, I can't remember the lady's name, but that she was the real mother of the child, had an affair with Jay-Z. Well, that lady is no longer alive. So
Of
there's
course not.
that.
This is why we never find out anything.
Exactly. There's also videos of Beyonce like very creepily laughing at Kobe's funeral. Um, that could be anything. People do weird things at funerals. I don't know, but it was pretty cryptic. Like when you see it, you're like, oh, okay. There's
Mm,
obviously Beyonce is often doing this Illuminati symbol, her and her husband on stage. A lot of them do
yep.
that. But why? There's another video of Wendy Williams, and she was talking trash about Beyonce on her show one day.
The
And
talk
then
show host?
yes, and then as she's talking, she starts to get really scared and she starts to look around like this and her eyes are really wide. Like she looks terrified and all of a sudden she just passes out. So people are like, "Oh my gosh, like what possessed thing came about?" Um, their daughter, Blue Ivy, her name backwards is EV or what I can't say it backwards. But anyway, if you spell Blue Ivy backwards, it's supposedly Lucifer's daughter's name in Latin. So there's that weirdness too. Um,
Whoa.
there's also talk that Blue Ivy stands for Born Living Under Evil, Illuminati's very youngest. Again, that could just be people running with it. We were talking about this before, how she says that Sasha Fierce is her alter ego. But when she gets into that Sasha Fierce thing on stage, it is like manifesting. Like it is like possessed. It's weird to watch. It's very creepy when she gets into that. Like her eyes are just like dead. Just watch. I don't know. Google some of it.
So, I mean, like all of this stuff that's gonna. I mean, we may hear more about all this stuff, right?
I hope so.
I mean, I want that list. I would love to hear stuff about almost every single one of them.
Hmm. Yep, I would too. But then it's like, man, I can't even imagine how disappointed the world would be. Like hearing their favorite celebrities are pedos, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like
Hmm.
Satan worshippers and
Uh, yeah, I would say so. Um, they
just
say
people
that,
that are just doing freaky things.
yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
there are people that say, like, that these celebrities sell their souls to the devil to become famous. And, that's kind of become more like colloquial in our culture, like, oh, I sold my soul to the whatever. But like, is there some truth to that? Maybe. And do they have to sacrifice people? Like, what do they have to do in order to repay that debt? I don't
mm,
know. I really don't know. There was people in the comments of the video about all the major pop stars dying during her tours, saying that these were sacrifices to keep her famous, kind of thing. So maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to say. Sia, the singer Sia, she
yep.
came out with a tweet in 2016, and it made no sense. It says, "Baby, everything your own nice cat eats. Kangaroo is dead. Nowhere. And purple penguins every day. My egg." Like, it was so random. So someone circled the first letters of everything, and it says, "Beyonce kidnapped me."
What?
I don't know, man. It's weird. Could go on forever about this. It's weird, but I will stop it here because we've hit our hour. Um, but yeah, just something to look into. The
God, we
internet
could
is
do a
a
whole episode on these conspiracies.
the internet is a wild place. You can get lots of fact, you can get lots of fiction. I mean, it's kind of up to you to discern between the two. Who knows, right? We may never know. I think, like you said, when a lot of people are speaking out about it, there is maybe some truth to it. You know,
Yeah, there's
there is
always some truth to it.
got to be some truth to it. I'm sorry, but like, how do you get to this absolute insane mega stardom and you're this
It's
beautiful
like
and people are
it's like the
worshiping you?
football player Deshaun Watson. All these women started coming out about him, basically not doing good things to all these
Right.
masseuses. So he has a problem with massage therapists, you
Mm,
know? And
hmm.
then so they settle all that out of court, and then this year more popped up.
Of course they do.
So that still hasn't really come out into the general public yet.
Hmm.
And I'm waiting for it. I'm
Hmm.
hoping. So I just let the cat out of the bag just now. So yes, there's more coming for him. And
I
he's been terrible this year.
I think like everything kind of comes to light at some point,
Yeah.
And one thing I was going to say about the Beyonce stuff is like all these people thanking her, calling her the light. She's the
Yeah.
light. Well, if you look into Satanism, everything is reversed in Satanism. It's all backwards.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of everything. And
Yeah.
so the light means the darkness. So it's just
Hmm.
something to think about. I don't know.
Yeah. She's a beacon of light, all right.
Yeah, she's something. Well, great show.
That was a great show.
I mean, to all our Beyonce listeners, sorry, not sorry. Look into it, do your research. That's all I can say on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Join us. Are you on tomorrow?
No.
No.
Nothing tomorrow.
Okay.
Next show is Thursday.
Thursday. Okay. Join us Thursday for another great show. Oh, me and Chanel. We haven't done a show together yet, so that should be interesting.
It'll be the first time that there won't be somebody from the United States on as a
Oh,
host.
exciting.
Canada and UK this Thursday.
I uh I hope she's not a Beyonce fan because it's just gonna end up being a big fight. Just kidding.
Well, that'll get the ratings going,
Yeah,
right?
right. Just a girl cat fight. Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you on Thursday.
Have a great day, everybody.